Hello, JS1 students of Sleek Angels International School. Good day to you all. Welcome to your first online English language class or English language lesson. My name is Mrs. Cynthia Okechukwu, and I know you all know me. I am the head of the arts department in your school, and I also serve as the vice principal. You may be surprised that your regular English teacher isn't bringing this lesson. Well, I'm standing in for her for now. Very soon she'll be back to continue with you. So, today our topic is identifying types of nouns, pronouns, and verbs. Identifying types of nouns, pronouns, and verbs. I know you all know what nouns are. You also know what pronouns and verbs are. But then today we are going to be talking about the different types of nouns, how you can identify them, how you can identify the different types of pronouns and verbs as well. This class is not interactive. What I mean by that is that I do not get to hear from you immediately. You know, when your teacher is teaching you in a normal classroom setting, as your teacher teaches, she asks questions and then you respond immediately. That is that's being interactive. That's the lesson being interactive. In this case, I cannot ask you questions and you answer immediately, but at the end of the class or at the end of this lesson, I'm going to give you an assignment and I'm going to give you an email address and a WhatsApp number. You are to do this assignment and get it across to me through this email and the WhatsApp number. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. But then I'm going to give you one assignment now before the class begins. One assignment. And I want you to listen carefully. This is part of what you are going to write for me. So this is the first assignment. It's the first assignment before the lesson. Are you listening? I hope you are. All right. Here's the first assignment. For over 6 weeks now, almost 7 weeks, we have been at home. We have been at home. We have been on what we call a lockdown. Initially, the lockdown wasn't strict, but now the lockdown is so strict that we cannot leave our houses. And I know you all know that it's as a result of a virus that it's making its way around the world, a virus called coronavirus. Because people get infected by this virus easily, we have been told to stay at home. We've been told to do other things to prevent us from contracting this virus. Now, the assignment for me is I want you to write in one paragraph, just one paragraph. Tell me what you know about coronavirus. That is the first thing I want to hear from you, the first assignment. So your assignment number 1 is, what do you know about the coronavirus? In just one paragraph. What do you know about the coronavirus? I know you know what a paragraph is. Yes, you should know because you have studied it in JSS1. So, in just one paragraph, what do you know about the coronavirus? That's the first assignment. At the end of this class, I'm going to give you other assignments to do for me. Do not forget, number 1 assignment, what do you know about the coronavirus in one paragraph? All right. Now, let's get into our lesson for today. Identifying types of nouns, pronouns, and verbs. Now, what is a noun? What is a noun? I know you all know it. In fact, the definition of a noun is like a song. Most of you would say that a noun is the name of a person, animal, place, or thing. A noun is the name of a person, animal, place, thing, or an idea. You are absolutely right. Nouns refer to persons, animals, places, things, ideas, or events. So nouns encompass most of the words of a language. That is to say that we have so many nouns in all the different languages that we know. And nouns seem to form the most words in many languages, including English language. Nouns form the most words. Nouns seem to be the most words. What do I mean by that? Can you think of persons? Persons, man, woman, boy, girl. Okay, their names. I bet that if I come to your class now, I will find out so many names. Some of you just tell me or bear your first names in school. But then if I were to talk to you one-on-one, I would probably discover that you have many other names apart from the name that you bear in school. Okay. Animals. There are so many animals in the world. Okay. Places as well. So many places in the world. In River State alone, if you count how many places one can go to or visit in River State, how many names of places there are, then you will see that if you consider the whole world, there are even places you do not know about. And all these places, their names are nouns. We also have things. Everything around you is a noun. Everything, and even to the minutest thing, that is to the smallest thing, the smallest ant is a noun. Okay. An idea is a noun. Events that occur around us. I know we're not going out for events now because of the lockdown, but weddings, um, like events we have in Sleek Angels, the inter-house sports, okay, the cultural day, which took place not too long ago, which was actually an international day. We celebrated the international day. Think of any event that has occurred in Sleek Angels since you've been in that school. That event has a name, and that name is a noun. So nouns encompass most of the words in a language, in any language at all, whether it be English language or French or Spanish or German, all languages. Nouns make the most words in all languages. Okay, moving on. A noun can be a, an. Why is it a, an? You should know. If the word starts with a vowel sound, you don't say a before it, you say an before it. Words with vowel sounds are words that begin with the vowels a, e, o, u. That's the vowel sounds. Okay. Any word that begins with these vowel sounds. Any word that begins with these vowel sounds. Okay. An comes before them. Apple, for instance. Apple is a thing, it's a fruit. So you say an apple. An insect. An insect is an animal. It's an animal. It's a noun. So you say an insect. Egg. An egg. Egg starts with a vowel sound. So an comes in front of it. So a noun can be a or an. A person, for instance, the name of a person, Max, Julie, Catherine, put your name in there. Okay. Now, noun can be an animal. An animal. A name for an animal: a dog, cat, a cow, a kangaroo. Some of you with pets in the house, like dogs, cats, birds, and all that. We even go a little further and give our pets names. We can call our dogs special names. Okay, animals are also categorized as nouns. Then, a place, the name of a place: London, Australia, Canada, Mumbai, Nigeria, Ghana, Togo. It now can be a thing, a name of a thing: bat, ball, chair, door, house, computer. If you check around you in your bedroom, you have a lot of things in your bedroom. All those things are nouns. The TV there, your box, the wardrobe, the curtains, the windows. In the sitting room, for instance, the television. Okay, that is a thing. The sofa is a thing. The table is a thing. The pictures hanging on the wall are things. So you see, these are nouns. Then an idea, a name of an idea. Devotion, something that is abstract. We'll get into that. Superstition, happiness, excitement. Now, the core values of sleek angels, what are they? Can you remember? Integrity, discipline, hard work. These three things can be categorized as ideas. Integrity, you don't see it. Discipline, you don't see it. Hard work, you don't see these things. They are all ideas and they can be categorized. They are all nouns and they can all be categorized under idea. Okay. Examples of nouns, of noun as a part of speech, using nouns in a sentence. Now, in these sentences, you can see that I have highlighted or darkened or emboldened the words that are nouns. Look at the first word there. Alex is a wonderful player. Alex is the name of a person. A player is a person. Okay. Is a wonderful player. This could be a player in a football team, a basketball team, a table tennis team, anything. Sydney Lions is the team he plays for. Now, Sydney Lions is the name of a team. Okay, like I said, it could be a football team, a basketball team, and the word team. The word team is also a thing. It represents persons. Okay, a group of persons. It's a particular type of noun. We'll be looking at that later on. Okay, he was not born in this country. A country is a place. Now, the different types of nouns. The different types of nouns. The first type of noun is what we call the proper noun. The proper noun. A proper noun is a name which refers only to a single person, place, or thing, and there is no common name for it. Now, when we're talking about a single person, a single place, a single thing, it's not common. Okay, there is no common name for it. It has its name on its own. Then, in English language, it is known as a proper noun. And when you are writing in written English, a proper noun always begins with capital letters, no matter where they are found in a sentence. If a proper noun is in the middle of a sentence, it must come with a capital letter. If it's at the beginning of a sentence, it must come with a capital letter. If it's at the end of a sentence, it must come with a capital letter. Proper nouns will be treated as a topic on its own eventually as you go higher in school. But just know that it is a name which refers only to a single person, place, or thing, and there is no common name for it. Examples of proper nouns are names of places: Port Harcourt, Nigeria, okay, London, Australia, United States of America, Argentina, Cynthia Okechukwu, your own name, the name of our director, Dr. Mrs. Christy Atako, the name of the principal, Mr. Sonny Anyanwoye. All these names should always be written, all these names should start with a capital letter when they are being written or when you are writing it. And they must start with capital letters wherever they are found in a sentence. Look at the example here. Melbourne. Melbourne refers to only one particular city, because we said that a proper noun is a name which refers only to a single person, place, or thing. Steve refers to a particular person. Australia, there is no other country named Australia. This name is fixed only to one country, so it must begin with a capital letter. Now, let me give you an insight to other things that are known as proper nouns that must begin with capital letters, no matter where they are found in sentences. They are not on this list, but you should know. Number one, the names of the months of the year, January to December, should always be written in capital letters. That is, beginning with capital letters, not all the letters, just the first letter should be a capital letter, no matter where you find it in a sentence. Days of the week, Monday, Tuesday to Sunday, through to Sunday, must always be written starting with a capital letter wherever it is found in a sentence. People's designations, for instance, is he a doctor? It must always start with a capital D, R, a full stop, and then the person's name. Is he an engineer? It must always start with a capital E. Is he a reverend? It must always start with a capital R, no matter where it is found in a sentence. Okay, he's a barrister. It must always start with a capital B. Okay, people's designations. Okay, now another one is holidays. Holidays like Christmas, Easter, New Year, Independence Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, even Islamic holidays, Eid al-Fitr, or however, Eid al-Maulud, Eid al-Kabir, must all start, each of the words, okay, must begin with a capital letter. Names of institutions: Sleek Angels International School, University of Port Harcourt. So, if you're writing Sleek Angels International School, the S of Sleek, the A of Angels, International, the I, School, should all start with capital letters. Okay? University of Port Harcourt, the U and the P, okay, U for the university, P Port Harcourt, H, P Port, and then H Harcourt must always starts with capital letters. These are proper nouns. Okay, more proper nouns, for instance, Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Education. Okay, so like I said earlier on, these are single persons, places, or things. There is no common name for them. Look at the examples we have here. He goes for a walk by the river. every Monday. Remember I said days of the week? So you can say it here. Days of the week. His friend Max accompanies him. Max is someone's name. It must always start with a capital letter. Max was born in South Africa. Aha. You see South Africa? Sometimes people will write South Africa and they will write the S with a capital letter and then the Africa with a small letter. No. South Africa. Just like you would write River State. River State. So, Rivers, capital R, State, capital S. He's a fan of he's a fan of Hugh Jackman and the movie Wolverine. Aha. Movies. What's your favorite movie? X-Men, Spider-Man, Thor, because I know most of you like action movies and movies with superheroes, like Arrow and The Flash. All these movies, when you are writing them, say you're writing a letter to a friend and you want to talk about your favorite movie, you must write your favorite movie with the first letters of the words in capital letters. Okay. He has a dog named Poppy. If you have a pet at home, what's the name of your pet? When you're writing his name or her name, it should start with a capital letter. Ah, yes, like I was saying earlier on, I attend Sleek Angels International School. See the way I have written it. Sleek starts with a capital S. Angel starts with a capital A. International with a capital I. And school with a capital S. So that's the proper noun. Then a common noun. A common noun is a name of something which is common for many things, persons, or places. It's a common name for things, persons, or places in general. You see, this is unlike the proper noun. The proper noun is for specific things, persons, and places that are not common. Okay. But then a common noun is a general name for things, persons, and places. He has a cat named Louis. Cats is it's common for, general name for cats. There is no other specific name for cats. Okay. Yes, cats come under is a particular species. That's in biology. Okay, that's your basic science. But that species of animals that cats come under would actually be written in a capital letter. Okay, so but cat is a common name for all of them, so it wouldn't be written in a capital letter. Like a specific cat is named Louis, so Louis has to start with a capital letter. He has a house and a car also. It's a general name for house, a general name for car. Now, if you want to talk about the particular car, if the particular car is a Mercedes-Benz, for instance, Mercedes-Benz will be written starting with capital letters. Okay. Dorcas hit her foot on a stone. There's supposed to be an A there. Dorcas hit her foot on a stone. That man comes to my dad every day. That man comes to see my dad every day. That man comes to see my dad every day. Man is a general name. Dad is a general name. But if you want to specify your dad's name would come starting with a capital letter. That man comes to see my dad every day. So you see the difference between a proper noun and a common noun. Proper nouns name specific things, and common nouns are actually names for general things, general names for things actually. Then we have an abstract noun. What is an abstract noun? An abstract noun is a word for something that cannot be seen, but it is there. It cannot be seen. It has no physical existence. Generally, it refers to ideas, qualities, and conditions. I was talking about our core values just a few minutes ago: integrity, discipline, and hard work. These are qualities. Okay, so they are abstract nouns. You can't touch them. You cannot see them. Okay, so they are abstract. Examples of this are truth, lies, happiness, sorrow, time, friendship, humor, patriotism, etc. These are all examples of abstract noun. And I said earlier on that core values in Sleek Angels, integrity, discipline, and hard work, can be classified as abstract nouns. Examples of abstract nouns in sentences: childhood is the best time to build it. Childhood is the best time to build it. Different people may have different ideas, opinions, and beliefs. Ideas, opinions, and beliefs. Okay, childhood. These are all abstract. You can't see them. You can't see time. Okay. Then we move on to concrete nouns. Concrete nouns. A concrete noun is the exact opposite of the abstract noun. The abstract noun, we cannot see it, but the concrete noun, we can see it. There are things that have physical existence. We can see them, we can touch them. A chair, a table, a bat, a ball, water, money, sugar. These things are things we can see and touch. They exist physically. So that's the example of concrete nouns. Remember, concrete nouns are the opposite, or a concrete noun is the opposite of the abstract noun. Then we have countable noun. Countable noun. From the name, you should understand that a countable noun are nouns that can be countable. You can count them, and these nouns usually have a or an written in front of them. Remember, I talked about a or an at the beginning of the class. I said if the noun begins with a vowel sound, a, e, o, a, okay, then they can begin with an. That is what we call an indefinite article. A is also an indefinite article, and a chair, a table, a bat, an apple. And then the is also an article. It's definite, and you use it in front of specific nouns. Okay, look at these examples. Countable nouns. I bought a book of neurology. Okay, a book of neurology, which means there are many books on neurology, and I just bought one of them. But if I say I bought the book of neurology, it means there's only one book of neurology. So you see the way we use a, and the. You will get to learn this as you go further in. I think by the time you get to JS3, SS1, yes, you should be learning what determiners are, and articles are part of determiners. Now look at the next example. The book has 269 pages, which means you can count the pages. They are countable. And we've assigned a number in front of them, 269. Okay, it has 39 chapters in it. You can count the chapters. Each chapter covers 5 topics. You can count the topics. Alex has 4 pencils. You can count his pencils. Now, the opposite of the countable noun is the non-countable noun. The nouns that cannot be counted are called non-countable nouns. Example, water. You can't count water. You can't count sugar. You can count sugar in cubes. You can count water, when it's bottled up in glasses. In that case, you say a glass of water, a cup of water, a bottle of water, 2 gallons of water. But water in itself cannot be counted. Sugar is grainy, can't be counted, but when it's in cubes, you can count 3 cubes of sugar, 4 cubes of sugar. Same thing with oil, salt, etc. Oil, you cannot count, it's liquid, but when you can assign numbers to oil when you have put them in containers. A pint of oil, okay, a jar of oil, it's in a jar. A bottle of oil, it's in a bottle. 2 bottles of oil. Same thing with salt. Yeah, so you cannot say 1 water, 2 water, 3 water because water is not countable. Now, abstract nouns and proper nouns are always non-countable nouns. Abstract nouns and proper nouns. Remember, abstract nouns are things you cannot see. Okay, we talked about them earlier on. And then proper nouns. We can't count proper nouns because proper nouns, like I said, are specific. For instance, there's only one Sleek Angels International School. Just one. Sleek Angels International School. Even if we have different branches of the school or different annexes of Sleek Angels International School, we'll only count them based on their annex, but it is still Sleek Angels International School. Okay, all right. Then, but common nouns and concrete nouns can be both count and non-count nouns. Sorry for the little mix-up here. Common nouns and concrete nouns can be both count and non-count nouns, which means you can count or not count common nouns and concrete nouns. Now, examples of non-countable nouns are: I need some drinking water. Have some juice, please. We can't count that. Do you need some gas for your car? You can't count gas. We need a lot of money for the business. You can't count business and money. And do you want some milk? We can't count milk. Okay. Now, collective noun. A collective noun is a word for a group of things, people, or animals. Family, team, jury, cattle. Family, there are so many people in a family. Dad, mom, you, your siblings, but you are a unit called a family. It's a name used for a group of things. A team. Remember I spoke about team earlier on? Okay. In a football team, you normally have 11 players. Okay. There are many players, but they are known as a team. Jury. Where do we see a jury? Okay. We see a jury in the court. They help the judge to pass judgment when someone is accused of something. And it depends. In Nigeria, we don't use the jury system, okay, in our courts, but in some foreign countries, the jury system is used. And this jury will pass judgment, and the judge in charge, usually sees reasons why the jury declares the accused person either guilty or not guilty and sticks to it. So a group of people, the jury is made up of at least 10 to 12 people, okay? And then you have cattle. When you see cows moving around, cattle, more than one cow, a herd of cattle. So collective nouns can be both plural and singular. However, Americans prefer to use collective nouns as singular, but both of the uses are correct in other parts of the world. Now we have Compound noun. Sometimes two or three nouns appear together or even with other parts of speech and create what we call an idiomatic compound noun. Idiomatic means that these nouns behave as a unit and to a lesser or greater degree amount to more than the sum of their parts. Okay, just know that a compound noun, when you add two or more nouns together, okay, and usually there is a hyphen used when you're adding these words or joining these words together. For instance, six pack, 5-year-old, son-in-law, snowball, mailbox. You can see that snowball, there was no hyphen used. Okay, just one word. And then mailbox, no hyphen used. But you can see son-in-law, two hyphens there. Okay, and so on and so forth. You know so many of these compound nouns. All right, now let's move to types of pronouns. We've looked at types of nouns. Let's look at types of pronouns. I hope you can identify the different types of nouns we have now. Okay, personal pronouns. A personal pronoun takes the place of people or things. The personal pronouns are I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. You know that pronouns are used in place of nouns. A pronoun is used in place of a noun. So if I were to give a sentence like, Jim traveled to Bauchi State yesterday. He will be back next week. Jim traveled to Bauchi State yesterday. He will be back next week. Okay, so this tells you that he will be back next week still refers to Jim. So he takes the place of the noun Jim. So why do we use pronouns when we speak and when we write? We use them to help us not to repeat the words too many times. Can you imagine me saying, Jim traveled to Bauchi State yesterday. Jim will be back next week. It makes the repetition too much. If I still have something else to say about Jim in another sentence, instead of using Jim, I can just use he. Okay. Instead of using Jim, I use he. This helps to make what you are saying or what you are writing not look dull and clumsy. So nouns are very welcomed. We can use them in the place of nouns. You see, whoever thought about the English language thought well. My name is Cynthia Okechukwu. Cynthia Okechukwu lives in Port Harcourt. Cynthia Okechukwu teaches in Sleek Angels International School. Whereas I can just say, my name is Cynthia Okechukwu. I live in Port Harcourt and I teach at Sleek Angels International School. It makes it very smooth. But then when you just use nouns without using pronouns to replace them in your writings and in your speech, it makes it sound too heavy and too clumsy. So these are personal pronouns. Don't forget, a pronoun is used in place of a noun. So we've looked at the first group of pronouns, the personal pronouns. Then we have the possessive pronouns. What does possession mean? Something you own, something to show that you own something. For instance, a possessive pronoun shows possession. The possessive pronouns are mine, yours, his, hers, ours, and theirs. I always check if the art across the street is better than mine. I always check if the art across the street is better than mine. That bag is mine. That bag is his. Those shoes belong to my sister. They are hers. You see? Those shoes belong to my sister. They are hers. So we can use possessive pronouns in place of nouns as well. Those books belong to my sister, or those shoes belong to my sister. Instead of saying they are my sister's, they are hers. Now, if I give my sister a name and my sister's name is Sydney, those shoes belong to Sydney. They are hers. It's easier for me to say they are hers than to say those books belong to Sydney. They are Sydney's. You see, it takes a lot of work. But those books or those shoes belong to Sydney. They are hers. Very good. So possessive pronouns show possession. Then we have relative pronouns. A relative pronoun introduces a clause that describes a noun. Okay, the clause is called an adjective clause or an adjectival clause. You'll get to know all this as you go higher, but just know that a relative pronoun introduces a clause. The relative pronouns are that, which, who, whom, and those. Sorry, that is not written in red letters. That must have been a mistake. But relative pronouns are that, which, who, whom, and whose. Okay. So relative pronoun introduces a clause that describes the noun. I know the boy who broke your window. Who broke your window describes the boy. Who broke your window describes the boy. I know the boy who went to school is different from the boy who broke your window. So who broke your window describes the noun the boy. So it helps to describe or give you more information about the boy. And something that describes a noun. What is the name of that thing, that part of speech that describes a noun? That is an adjective. So relative pronouns are used to introduce clauses that describe nouns. Then we have demonstrative pronouns. The demonstrative pronouns are this, that, these, and those. They are used to demonstrate. A demonstrative pronoun can refer to something previously mentioned or to something in the speaker's surrounding. For instance, this is singular, these plural. This, TIHS, singular. These, THESE, plural. Then that, THAT, singular. Those, THOSE, the plural. Singular is this, plural is these. Singular is that, plural those. This book, that's the book close to me. This book belongs to my teacher. This means that this book is close to me here. I can touch it. This book belongs to my teacher. That book means that the book is not close to me. It's somewhere farther than where I am. That book belongs to my teacher. These books, the books close to me. Not one, plural. These books belong to my teacher because these books are close to me. Those books, meaning those books that are far away, those books belong to my teacher. So we use this and these for things that are close to us, and then we use that and those to demonstrate things that are far away from us. Okay. That book on the table is mine. So which means that that book is not close to where I am. These are my shoes. So which means the shoes are close to where I am. Okay. We also use it to talk about something that something previously mentioned. Do you remember that boy you talked about yesterday? Do you remember those boys you talked about yesterday? All right, that is demonstrative. You can even get to know what I mean because the pronouns are actually demonstrative. This, that, they are demonstrative. And then we have the reflexive pronouns. The reflexive pronoun is paired with another noun or pronoun to show it is acting on itself. You should know how to use this. Reflexive pronouns are myself, yourself, herself, himself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. Sometimes I hear students say their selves. There's nothing like that. There's no such thing as their selves. Themselves. Okay. Alison does not trust herself. John did his homework himself. Okay. So these are relative reflexive pronouns. Okay, paired with another noun or pronoun to show it is acting on itself. And then finally, we have what we call interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns are used to ask questions. Interrogative pronouns are what, which, who, whom, and whose. I know we talked about who being a relative pronoun, but that is when it is used to introduce a clause that describes a noun. But then who is also an interrogative pronoun. It's also an interrogative pronoun. It's used to ask questions. Whose book is this? What are you doing here? Okay. So in our lesson, this is where we come to the end of the lesson. We are looking at different types of nouns, pronouns, and verbs. And today we have covered the different types of nouns and pronouns, and I know you can identify them. In our next lesson, we'll be looking at the different types of verbs, not to make this lesson too long. So in our next lesson, we'll look at the different types of verbs, concluding this topic. Now look at your homework. You are to identify the nouns in the following sentences. Identify the nouns in the following sentences from numbers 1 to 3, and then from numbers 1 to 5, you have to identify the pronouns in the sentences and state their types. Now, you are in JS1, and it is important that you you read instructions carefully. Now that you are in JSS1, if you can read instructions to question papers carefully, it will help you when you get to SS3 and you're writing your final exams. There's a difference between the two sets of homework I have given to you here. The first one, I said identify the nouns in the following sentences. Just identify them by underlining them. Okay, or you can just write out the nouns. Number one, what are the nouns in number one? If it's one noun, you can write one noun. If it is two, you write the two nouns. Just identify. But the other part, I am saying identify the pronouns in the sentences below and state their types. So, if there is one pronoun in the sentence there, identify it and then dash, you state its type. But you're not supposed to state the type in the type of nouns in the first three questions. Note, I'll be looking for those who do not follow my instructions. So this is your homework. Also remember that I said at the beginning of this class that you should write in one paragraph what you know about the coronavirus. Just tell me what you know about the coronavirus. Just in one paragraph. I don't want something lengthy. Just tell me briefly, what do you know about the coronavirus? That's the first assignment. And then the next one is these ones I have written here, identifying the nouns and the pronouns. And then you state the types of pronouns. All right. Now, there's a cute picture of a dog just to brighten your day. When you have done your assignments, please send it to this email address. Please, this email address is not the right one. This email address is not the right one. So please do not send it to this email. It's not the right one. This email address was written incorrectly. This is not the right email address. It was written incorrectly. Please take note. And I wouldn't want to give you the right one because you might not write it well. But for those of you who think the email will be better, please take the correct address. It is SOEUR Africa@gmail.com. I'll say it again. SOEUR Africa@gmail.com. And then the WhatsApp number here is 080-8989-0203. Send your assignments to this email address, SO, not the one written here. The one written here is written incorrectly, please. SOEUR Africa@gmail.com. SOEUR Africa@gmail.com or 080-8989-0203 WhatsApp number. Also, please take note. Do not write this assignment on a piece of paper and then take a picture, or in a notebook and take a picture. If you can, please type it out on WhatsApp or on the email. It's better, because most times when students take a picture of what they have written, it's not clear, except you can assure me that the camera of the phone will take a very bright picture so that I don't strain my eyes to look at what you have written. If the camera of the phone you're using is very bright and can take a very good picture, then go ahead. But if it cannot, please just type out your answers either via email or WhatsApp. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Until I see you again, have a lovely, lovely day.